back out. We're going on to blue now. We will go down here, start with the basic blue. And since these are going to get cut up, I'm going to say welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice. This is for the beginner player. Go see the white tutorial if you want to know that. If you're just jumping in here to blue, we're going to go through this. We don't have the option to mulligan, so we are forced to play what we have. If we had a chance to mulligan, we would have pulled our cards, looked, decide what we liked, thrown the card back, and so on. We didn't have that option here. So normally I would have liked to have had a first or a second turn play, spending the mana to get what I need. Wasn't given that option. So anyhow, blue. Blue is the color of trickery, the color of deception. It is a frustrating color to play against, and it is a challenging. Color to play with, because this gives another creature -1/-1. I'm actually going to take this out now, killing their card with one of my cards, where they have no advantage to be gained because there was nothing to give that -1/-1 to. I'm feeling confident that I can easily breeze through this. I just showed my confidence at the end of last playing the white, and now you see what I got for that. Maybe you didn't see that right now. I will do this again. Yeah, I don't want them. Yeah. I'm feeling cocky here, so we'll see if that comes back to bite me in the rear. Yeah, so let's, again, talking through this, I should have been reading my cards. And I probably could have spent things a little bit more efficiently. This now lets me cast another creature and draw another card. Card draw is king, and blue does a lot of that. So what do I think about this? I can take 4, take something out. I'm looking at these guys as being expendable, which is kind of rude, but anyhow. Let's do this. Make this cost 1. Can't stress how important it is to read your cards to see what they can do. Reading the card explains the card. Read it closely. Yeah. So unsummoned. Unsummoned is a great example of a card that can be used for or against you. I could use it in a manner where I'm saving my own creature. I could use it the way that I'm going to right now, which is remove their creature from the air so that they can't block because all of my creatures are flying. And it's going to force them to tap out all their mana again on their turn to cast it again if they want to. Meanwhile, I will take advantage of their shields being down and hit them with everything. I've kept an unsummon in my hand so that I can do it all over again if I need to, in theory. 14 life, there's really no chance of them being able to get back to me. Let's do this. I'm going to do this now. I could wait and see if they have something else to cast, but instead, I'm going to frustrate them by bouncing that back to the hand, getting a card draw here on my turn. Let's do this, and I just slam in for the win. A great example of blue play. We'll see how hard this gets afterwards, though. All right. Challenge deck 2. Blue versus green. Okay. Again, I talk about reading it. This is the first time I bothered to actually read what the explanation was over there. Terrible at following my own advice. All right. A turn every play. Doesn't matter because it didn't give me a chance to mulligan or not. Surveil or scry. Scry. So I get to look at a card. I see that I have plenty of land. I don't really care. I'm going to throw that to the bottom. That could come back to bite me later. But I like scry. I like that ability to get through your deck faster. That will come up in later games as you're playing this. The more cards you can draw, the better. The more knowledge you have of what's coming up in your deck, the better. Maybe those things seem obvious. Maybe not. I don't know. I am going to, since I actually bothered to read this, I'm actually going to cast the Warden, whereas before I would have cast the Cloudkinseer to get a card draw. I know I can cast them cheaper now, so anyhow. What's going on over here? I don't like the fact they are lots of mana. Green is a ramp color. Ramp means getting more mana available to you. The more mana you have available to you, the better off you are, the more options you have, the more cards you can draw, the more spells you can cast, all of those things together. Green is famous for that. And again, I'm scared because that's potentially 6 mana. So that means they're going to put down a massive, massive creature next turn. I am betting. I haven't unsummoned though. So again, these early decks here are structured to help teach you the game. There you go. Not as massive as I expected, but a large creature and a creature with a reach. I talked about reach before. Let's block this. Reach being able to get the flyers, to stop flyers. I'm gonna have them put that back in their hand, so I am free to swing in for 6 points of damage. I still suspect that there is a bigger creature coming. They were going to gain an advantage by having that 4/4 creature on the battlefield, and they would get to add just a crap ton of mana to their pool. But I don't want that. Let's let this hit the board. And this is I probably shouldn't do this. I should save it for a better time, but again, I want to hit them for 6 again next turn. A creature that can't be blocked. Interesting. So I'm going to press my advantage again while I can. Get them as low as possible. And how much mana does this cost to make it unblockable? It costs 7. And I think that is just what I have. So there's 4 points of damage that they can't block no matter what. They only have one thing that has reach that can block the flyers. So if one of those gets blocked, 2, 4 is still going to get through for a total of 8 damage. Should leave them at -2. There we go. That's it. Easy. Easy for these early games. Actually, playing against a separate person, if you saw the white video, you'll know that that can be more challenging. Especially when they take the gloves off and they make it easier for them to do other things. So 3, what are we looking at? Blue versus white. They're going to let us know ahead of time. So, talk to other beginning players about this. This is where it can be challenging, and you have to learn a bit of patience with blue. I'm not good at patience. I'm not good at all with patience. And it's tough again because we've seen how mulliganing, well, if you watch the white video, you see how mulliganing can make a big difference. So you need to learn patience with this. We are on curve. Not on curve. We didn't cast anything first turn when we should have. We did start to curve out from there. Double strike. Double strike means there is an attack damage that is applied first. First strike damage, or double strike. First strike is applied first. Then you apply it again. If you can kill the creature to begin with that first one, they never get a chance to apply their damage to you. So, for example, double strike, this attacks. That 1 damage gets to this, it kills it. This never gets a chance to do its 2 damage to that creature. That can be devastating. Now, this is 3/2. I could attack. One would be applied to it, and then the next one be applied. I would get rid of that creature, though. It's worth it just to show you how this works. Now, I'm sure they're going to have another fencing ace to play. Advantage being here, you son of a nutcracker. So they paralyzed. And paralyzed was the old word. Passivism is what it does. I could bounce this. I could use this offensively or defensively. I could bounce this back to my hand. That passive will fall off and go away. I could then play my card again. And draw another card. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to do that. Are they going to play 2 fencing aces? They probably will. Oh, no. So I'm glad that I waited. Because what I'm going to do now is send that back to their hand. They will have now wasted the spell. Thinking ahead, thinking a few steps ahead, I could now unsummon my creature and get that ready to go. Or do I want to wait and see what they play again? I'm pushing it. I shouldn't do this. This is bad play. This is terrible. Why do I make a video and then not show you the proper way to do it? That's part of the fun of this game. There is no one way to play the game. So there you go. It worked out for me this time. I did get another unsummon. Again, we're still playing in the structured matches, so I feel like I felt like I could get away with it and push it a little bit. So we'll let that hit the board. We're going to hope that they throw another enchantment on it, which I am not going to let them do, and let that go into the trash. Let's drop this. Let's drop this. Let's go ahead and attack. I'm feeling confident at this point that we have got them beat. Yes, I'm feeling very confident about that. And again, we have flyers, so we're set as far as that goes. We're drawing cards. Card advantage is so important in this game. Some people think of it as being overrated, but the more options you have, the better chances you have of, putting your game plan together. It's something that is, they finally got that. So, I could block with both of these, but again, he would assign 3 points of damage, one there, and it would kill them both. I am so far ahead, I can take the hit for 6 damage and not be worried about it. I can drop this and this. I can now swing in for up to 9 points of damage, but I'm not going to do that. Don't be greedy. This is tough because normally I am aggressive. I see that they are top decking, meaning that they are hoping to pull something from the top of their game. Otherwise, they're only going to do 6 points of damage, and I'll get them again. But I am going to play conservatively, and I am going to just send 6 points of damage their way. Holding back 2 creatures to block with. Just to frustrate them, I will block. Actually, why would I do that? Let's do this. This is a weak creature on toughness. Save that. And I think with that, I now have the game because now I can swing in for 9. That's it. All right. Sorry about that. On to the next one. Number 4. I guess that's what it is. Obviously, these are structured. This is why I'm doing this game for beginners. Because even as a player, like, I don't think about these things. I just jump in and do it. But yeah, obviously here, they have chosen for you a structured avatar of who you're playing against, who you're playing against, who you're playing against. This final one is a mystery person. Maybe you're going to get a bot. Maybe you're going to get a person. Fair enough. So this is red sometimes gains rewards for using instants and sorceries. Okay. So that's what they want to teach you at this point. So I see what's going on here now. Man, that white was frustrating for me, though. Not going to lie. You can go back and see that video wherever it appears on the screen. I guess that's why they give you the mulligan, too, for that 4th one. So you're going to learn here how to be patient, how to save those unsummons and use them offensively or defensively. I can easily block this, kill it, but they will get another 1/1, and I will not have a creature. So I want to build up a board presence. I know this because I've played this a few times today. And so I know that the only way you're going to get through this is if you hold back just a little bit. Like I want to attack. But I am. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's in my DNA. That's possibly going to cost me the game. Now, we can watch the butterfly effect. Yeah, see? Yeah. That may have an effect that ripples out. So, I mean, that's why it's important when you play this to think about all of your options. I will take the damage. All right. I like where I'm going with this. I'm going to get a flyer up here. I'm keeping that unsummon available. Now, I like this too. And I am completely playing against Blue's type by attacking. However, it is a calculated attack. I know it seems aggressive, but it's calculated. Me attacking with both of these, yes, he may block and kill one of them, but I don't want that creature to start getting 1/1 counters. So they can make a choice. They can either take that now and get it out of the way, kill one of my creatures, or they can take the damage and start. Well, they took the damage. They're not taking the damage. They got rid of it. So that tells me then every action that they make gives you insight into what they have too. So obviously I would say then, well, they took the damage. They must have another one. There it is. I guess I've seen this too, but this plays in the actual games too. That if somebody willingly takes damage like that, or willingly gets rid of a card like that, chances are they have another one in their sleeve, up their sleeve. It's coming at me. I can take the damage. Again, you're not dead until you lose your last life point. I really wish that was something other than that. I'm going to save... Excuse me. I'm going to save some of this for combat tricks here. So I will fly in for 2 that they can't do anything about. And you should always, always be suspicious. When you see a blue player leaving mana open, just know that they're up to something. They have instants that they're going to play. No, I don't like that. Gain control. They're going to take my creature and smack me with it. That's just rude. That is rude. Two choices. I can keep it from happening by giving this hexproof, or I could bounce this back to my hand. So I could cast it again next turn and draw another card. I think I like that better. So that's what I'm going to do. Now this effect isn't going to happen, but because this was on a cast trigger, whenever you cast, this is still going to happen. This goes towards the stack of how things happen in the game. That comes up a lot more in paper than it probably does in Arena, but it does happen in Arena too. Important to note. They're attacking with both. I'm going to... Oh! And then they're going to lightning bolt me, making that even bigger. Well, how about if I do this and say no thank you? 2 damage. That will... I'm going to do this one more time. So we're going to get to see the stack work. So last in, first out. So I'm going to put another spell in here that's going to happen. That's not what I wanted. There's only 2 on the backside, huh? Well, I can now easily block this and do nothing. I can block this and kill it and give them another creature. I would rather they not have things on the board because I know that I have unsummons in my deck. And so I could unsummon that and make it lose its tokens right on time. Or I could unsummon this token. Counters, that's what I should have said. This goes back in there and it would lose its counters. Or if I unsummon the token, token just vanishes. It can't go back into your hand. I like doing a little bit dangerously here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And we'll go ahead and do this. I'm sorry, I'm playing blue aggressively, and I shouldn't do that. Blue is not made to be aggressive, but I'm here to play the game, so, you know. And you can play this any way that you want. Now, they're going to take my flipping creature from me. I don't like that. It gives their creature a +1, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bounce this back to their hand and let them lose their counters. They can attack me. They can play their creature. They don't get to keep it. It's going to come back to me. I'm at 13. They're at 10. I'm okay with this exchange. And I'm happy to have that go back to their hand and them not be able to get those. They've got to start with those counters all over again. This is going to give my flying creature a bonus. Gives both of them a bonus. I'm only counting the flying because that's the one I'm attacking with. Now, hopefully they're in top. Ew! Ow! I don't like that. I don't like that a bit. But they're all tapped out. And I can get rid of that creature, losing one of my creatures. I'm okay with that because I'm going to play another card. I'm going to draw. I'll see. I may get something good. So I'm okay with this exchange. You have to look at that as you're playing the game. It's not really what I wanted. I want something good. I do have multiple creatures. I do have a board presence. I do have something that I can block with. There we go. That's what I like right there. So I've got a blocker. I can attack with Scry. See how important that is? That makes a difference. I can now attack with impunity because I know I've got multiple blockers. Now, I'd be sad if they cast something like this that does 6 damage to me, being at 4, but I played aggressively. I spent mana earlier. That's what I was talking about, the ripple effect. Maybe something. Why is this not letting me block? What's going on? This is super frustrating. Like, purportedly their system's working today. What's going on here? Their internet just go down? Do they have an instant in their hand that they're not sure about using? Super frustrating to get this far in the Blue tutorial, gameplay video, whatever you want to call it, and not be able to complete it. Are they stuck? Well, during episode 1, guess I'm going to do episodes for each color. I talked about having a program that allowed you to see what's in there. So MTG Assistant is one of the programs there, and Untapped GG is another here, and it lets you look at overlays of what cards you have. And I can't. There we go. Very useful to have an idea of what's in your card, especially for new players. I am no way affiliated with them, so I'm not getting any money if you use their systems. It felt like a cheat to me, but in this era of what is going on, seriously, in this era of digital games, it's just kind of like a necessary evil. If you're not using it, you're not getting the full advantage of what's out there. Having an idea of what cards are coming, what your percentage of drawing specific cards are, can make a difference. There are free versions of this program that are available. There's also a pay version that... My game frozen? What the heck? This is super annoying. Anyhow, there are free versions available. There are pay versions. I would not spring for the pay version until you're sure that you're comfortable with the game and that you're good. It doesn't automatically give you an advantage to the game. So, what the heck is going on? Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to bail out of this and go back because, something seems frozen on my end, which is disappointing, to say the least. Can we assume that I've won this game? Do I just come back with the blue and do on the next one? I guess I'm just going to concede and come back. That was super annoying. Sorry about that. So, I'm not sure if that's my system or their system. Should I reload the game? Don't tell me stuff like I lost. I knew what I was doing. I won that game. I want to move on to the next one. Maybe that's not helpful. Maybe I should play that through, because that is going to be the standard deck that you're up against. I will leave this up. I'm not sure if that shows up in the video. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't show up on screen. But right now I've called up where I can see what cards are in this deck and what my chances of drawing the other cards are. Anyhow, so how to get through 4 here. I'm going to play this on curve. We're going to take the damage. We're going to keep that unsummon available. I'm going to play this different. Well, we'll see. Maybe I won't. Maybe this will be interesting in the fact that I can go back, look at what I did, and play it maybe differently. Or maybe not. Yeah. So this is all pretty set for your turns, how it's going to go. I should not be playing this aggressively. I just can't help it. I'm going to press my battlefield advantage and keep more creatures on the board than they do if I can. Again, I have the advantage because I have flyers. Yeah, I am going to play this differently, I guess, this time. All right, because again, I'm not scared to take damage. Yeah. All right, I want to get through this as quick as I can this time, so you get 2 chances to see this game played. Oh, what? That's just rude. Taking my own things. Oh, oh. Well, that's a fine how you do. Huh. Wow. Getting all cocky and guess they're going to teach me a lesson. I should have stuck with, no, I'm not letting that happen again. I'm going to keep this on the board, but give it hexproof. Hexproof meaning they cannot target it. I can target it, but they can't. If they had another, no, sorcery. I was going to say if they had an instant, they could cast an instant and take it. But they don't, and they can't. All right. There we go. I like that. Keep this on the board. Go ahead and attack. All right. I'm actually going to put this back in hand because I could have used the glint to make it untargetable, swung in next turn, but I actually want card draw. I want card draw. I don't want to take damage, but I don't have a choice. I don't give myself hexproof, and I can't unsummon myself, so I will take that 6 damage. Yeah. I'm screwing around now. I'm confident I'm going to win, so I'm going to throw that back in their hand just because. And I'm going to do this just because. And scry just because. And smack them for 3 just because. Let them put that creature out with summoning sickness. Know that I'm safe for another turn. And I will kill them next turn. As I should have last game. Scry 2. All right. And swing in. Boom, boom. They're dead. All right. Last game. I think this is going to be the last game that I'm going to play for today. Thank you very much. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I will continue these beginner videos for at least for these first 5. Maybe we'll look into some other things from here. Some other specific beginners. Now, who knows what we're up against? Playing against another player using a blue deck, win or lose, to compete the color challenge. No one knows who it will be. Yeah, reading that explains this stuff. So I was so frustrated playing, 2 color players. But that's it's a fair assessment that when you play with a single color, you are limiting yourself. The way the game is designed, the further you spread across the different colors, the more weaknesses you'll have, but the more inconsistent the deck will be, but the better chance you have of filling in holes in the other deck in that style. This is why we now have the mulligan. We are on target for this. We've got to hope that the evasion ability is going to get us through. Against red again. So I could block it, kill it, but that's something that could come back, so we won't do that. Draw 2 cards. Yeah, we need our options available quickly here. So we're going to play some cards like that early in the game. We're not going to worry about getting our life total down as we're playing against a player playing a red deck. Red tends to be aggressive, and you're getting a very good example of something that somebody designed to be aggressive. I feel safe putting that on here because I can always do the hexproof here. I wouldn't necessarily feel safe doing that against the black deck. A black deck has cards that will give cause loss of life or give -1/-1 counters. Ooh, this is brutal. Brutal for a new player to be having to play against something like this. Man, I don't know how I feel about this. The decks were progressively harder and good for teaching a new player, but forcing somebody to play against constructed decks, yeah, that's a good example of what you're going to be up against. It might be frustrating. It might be frustrating for a new player, though. Man. Yeah, that is a tough one. That is tough indeed. It is going to make you. It's going to make you work, and it's going to make you think. Let's see where they put this. Yeah, this would. Oh man, I would have a tough time playing. I'm an experienced player, not a good player, but I'm an experienced player. I would have a tough time dealing with this freaking deck under the best of situations. So, wow, this would be tough for a beginner. Wow, yeah. If you have not worked your way through this game, if you are not committed to it, that would be disheartening. Wow. Interesting. So, challenge is blue against whatever. So, let's do that again. I'm glad that I'm doing this series. So, thanks, Red. This, yeah, it's got me actually thinking about the deck in a new and different way. Can't say that it's got me, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. Wow, I'm not sure how I feel about that, whether you should get more of a warning. Again, reading it explains it. I didn't know what I was going to be up against. I don't know what I'm going to be up against. But I don't know, man. Power levels of decks can be very swingy. I'm not sure if that just was a standard deck or a historic deck. If you're new to the game, you're not going to be familiar with what those terms are. So, yeah, so standard. What is standard? Standard is the current set of cards that are out there. I'm going to have to draw a card. This is so, man, I don't know what I'm up against, so I'm actually going to keep this, hoping that I get another land card and can play this Water Knot to stop whatever they have. It's letting me go first. I should go back and look at this and see whether they let me get first every time. Wow, so we're going to be up against a blue deck and get an example of what a blue deck in the wild is like. So anyhow, what I was saying is I'd maybe like to see you get more of a warning that you're going to be up against possibly anything. They're introducing artifacts. If somebody was just playing this for the first time, seeing some of this stuff is going to blow your mind, man. Yeah. If you are truly a beginner at this game and don't have a established, oh man. Holy crap. Playing against, okay, I can't even imagine what a beginner would be up against playing against an Oracle the Alpha. Oh, dude, I wanted to keep this positive, but this straight up is one of the reasons I don't like Arena. Arena has introduced cards that are cards you would never see in the wild. They've introduced cards that just can't exist outside of the digital format. This is an example of one of them. And it reaches back to the Power 9 of when this game started. Power 9, you may not even know what that is as a new player. It's cards that aren't reprinted, have never been printed again, are banned in most formats. They are cards that go for thousands of dollars when you buy them, to try to buy them, if you could even find them. The fact that a new player would be forced to play against those kind of cards, man, it's an education and a preparation for what you're going to, and maybe that's fine. Maybe you don't know and you don't care. Maybe this is your first exposure to the game, and that's great. That could be great for you, but wow, my mind is blown, like looking at that. It really is. Wow. Like I want to quit just seeing that card is out there in this. Like I just want to quit. Wow, that is just mind blowing for me. To see that I'm up against a monocolored deck. I am playing, rather, a monocolored deck. And I have to deal with somebody that's playing alchemy cards like that. Like, wow. Man, there are so many poor decisions that Wizards has made and Hasbro has made regarding this game. And this is just another one of them. Wow. Man, if I hadn't had that in my hand, look at this. A zero casting artifact. And then they got another one. F it. I am out of here. No, I am not. No. This is, oh my gosh. This is not where I intended to go with this video. And I'm kind of glad that nobody is watching me on Twitch. I don't even know whether I want to put this up. Because this is intended to be for beginners and is supposed to be a positive thing. But like, that just blows my effing mind that wow. Very few people watch this channel, if anybody. Not if anybody. There are some listeners I have that are devoted, some watchers that I appreciate. But if anybody from Wizards were to see this, like, this is how out of touch they are, and this is an example of maybe new players don't know any better, and this is okay to them, but they have forgotten. Wizards, Hasbro, without knowing the people, without talking to them, this is the disconnect from the new players that the people at the company have with this game. They've forgotten how complex it is and what it's like to be a new player. Clearly, because it just blows my mind that they would even put in something in here that would allow that card to be played. Like, it seems weird without you playing with these cards and knowing it for a new player. It maybe just seems like this is coming out of the blue, but they are cards that are so powerful that they cost thousands of dollars to a piece of cardboard, right? I got cardboard, ink, just thousands of dollars to get those cards. They're that powerful in the game. And they have created a card that just generates those randomly to throw into your hand. They're thousands of dollars because they're that impactful on the game. And so, like, it just, wow. Like, I'm virtually speechless, except I'm stammering at this point. So again, maybe you're a new player, maybe you don't know the difference between these cards or whatever, but I guarantee you that the first few times you play against them, you're going to be frustrated and not want to play the game anymore. Just like that person. Though I didn't do anything, I didn't think, to frustrate them. That was a win. I don't think that was a good example of the game. I've completely gotten off on a tangent here with seeing that the Oracle in there. It's not a good example. I'm going to play one more game. I apologize for getting heated about this, but oh my gosh, like no new, like, players need to be eased into the Power 9 and what they can do. Yeah, it's a straight up cash grab. And again, this is not what this is supposed to be, a beginner video introducing people to a game that is very fun. A wonderful game where I've made lots of friends. It can be a very positive experience. Wow. Yeah, this is not the video I wanted to make. Yeah. But can't help it. It's the video I'm making. I need to put it out. I care deeply about the game. I care more deeply about other people's experience playing the game. Maybe that sounds hokey and stupid. I don't know. But yeah, I care enough that I hate to see the game run into the ground and destroyed, just, for money. And that's absolutely what's happening. It's absolutely what's happening these days. It makes me sad. Yeah, just makes me sad. Anyhow, sorry. Getting back to the game, we're up against goblins. Goblins, again, is another tier 1 deck. It is very tough to play against. You see how much value they've gotten where at turn 4. They've got 4 creatures on the board. They've got 4 large creatures on the board. And I have lost more than half my life and probably am going to lose the game on the next turn. That's the way it goes sometimes. So I think this is probably the best education you could possibly get on playing Arena. Yeah, these janky cards that make it virtually Hearthstone. I'm going to go ahead and take the damage just so you can see how much damage they were able to inflict on me. Negative 21 in turn 5. Like, wow. So, take a sip of water here. Gonna pull myself back together. Welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice. We're going to play in the arena today. We're going to play a beginner deck against whatever may come. It's a fine example of the game of Magic and how it can be played. I need my tooth guard in, my night guard, just so I don't grind my teeth while I'm sitting here. Yeah. I don't see this video getting a lot of views, but interesting. So, moving on along, this looks like a very good hand. 3 lands, something to play on turn 1, potential turn 2 play, turn 3 later game play. Depending on what we're up against, who knows what it could be. Keeping it. Again, mulligan down if you don't have at least a first 2 or 3 turns worth of plays. So that means having land and having low casting cost cards in there. Interesting. Up against a white green deck, it's probably going to be life gain. It's probably, so this will actually tell me where we're at here depending on the next card. So we're probably playing standard. Standard is the last 2 or 3 card sets that have come out. They rotate, and Wizards these days prints new cards every 2 weeks, maybe every week even. That's a slight exaggeration, but not much of one. Let's see here. Do I want to put that back in their hand to make them cast it all over again? What advantage? They're going to start throwing extra creatures on the board. So yeah, I do think I'm going to put that back in their hand. I'm going to draw some more cards. I like that I got another unsummon. Anything you can do to set them back a little bit is going to be useful for later games. Sets them back with their resources and so on. Again, this is designed for beginners, so a lot of this stuff may seem obvious. Maybe it doesn't. Gotta remember to breathe. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so they, I won't say made a mistake, but they started with 3 lands. That's good. They didn't get their land draw because they should have dropped another land that turn. These are all things that you're going to notice or note or take into consideration as you make your plays, as you get better with the game. If you choose to stick with the game, because it can be very frustrating and can be difficult. Oh, the fact that I bounced it again was enough to get them to quit. That happens. This game is all about frustration right now. And I think that's a perfect example of it. Frustration at the cards that are out there. Frustration at the way that somebody plays a game. I'm very interested. I'm not familiar personally with bots and how they work and actual player things. You know, for the longest time, I assumed that I was always playing another person on the other side. I'm curious as to where this fits into the system. If I am playing, or since I am playing an actual person, are they just in the ladder? There's lots of different ways of playing this game. You could play a game where you're climbing the ladder and you're trying to get to mythic, trying to get to a rank. You're trying to achieve a specific rank. There are ways of playing here where you play up to 7 games. You spend a certain amount of gold to start. You get rewarded for each win that you get up to a point. We can actually look at those really quick. I do want this game to be educational. I want this video to be educational. I don't want to dissuade anybody from playing it. I want everybody to love the game of Magic. I want everybody to love paper Magic. And I want you to come to the local game store, and I want you to play with me, and I want you and I to sit down and talk about Arena and talk about Magic and how great the game can be. That's what I want. That's why I do this channel. I don't actually play it just so I can lose my temper and get frustrated. The different types of events that are here. A standard event, you pay a certain amount of gems or a certain amount of what? I never claimed my prize for this. I obviously lost very quick, but I never claimed my prizes. That's mind blowing. What did I get? Oh, I got 50 gems for losing 3 times, or winning 1 game rather. Anyhow. Standard event, you work your way through here. The more wins you get, the more gems you receive, as well as the more cards that you get, packs that you potentially get. That would be a standard event. Cube drafts, you're drafting with a specific set of cards. Everybody gets the same choices of the cards that you could possibly get. It is a phantom event. Those cards are not added to your pool. You are spending actual resources, whether it be gold, which you can get back every day, or gems, which you generally have to buy. They've made changes to Arena recently, which allow you to get gems now, but at a very reduced rate compared to gold. Gold is how you should spend and what you should spend most. Clicking on the wrong thing. I'm distracted. My mind is other places right now. Again, this is a draft. You're very, very careful and realize that they are not added to your card pool. There are drafts of specific packs of cards. This is the latest set to come out, so you would be drafting these. These cards you would get to keep. And you can see by the prices, these are cards that's about what you would pay for some packs. It's a little short. You're coming up short on that. You're going to win gems. You're going to win other packs. You're going to win. So I would say get familiar with the game. Learn how to play it first. You can do quick drafts, which are against bots. You're trying to get as many wins as you possibly can, up to 7. That's great. Chances are you're going to wind up around here to start with. It used to be you could farm for gold. You could get a good deck. You could actually do okay with this and actually complete your sets of cards by playing only, by just playing free to play and getting that. It's getting harder to do that. They've made changes where it's money. There are alchemy events. These limit the type of cards that you can use from only certain sets. I won't get into all of those right now. Again, this was originally intended just to be a beginner playthrough for the colors. We'll get back to that. At some point, we'll do more beginner videos. For those of you on Twitch, see it there. Thank you very much. For those that are seeing this on YouTube, please subscribe. Don't let my occasional outburst dissuade you. It is about having fun playing this game, or at least that's the intent. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much. That's going to be it for the evening. We'll go back to some more games here soon. Thanks for watching.